Good morning, Britain. It's just gone 6 o'clock. Welcome to the programme. And our main news this morning, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says he will step down from his job. If Trump is pulling back from Europe, what does this mean in terms of our to pledge to spend billions more on defence? That has to come from somewhere. Does that mean we're going to cut welfare by councils are not going to get billions? Not just about conflict and preventing it. This is about how our everything else in this country.
Absolutely right. And the world is completely, I think, was probably going to say...
was what's going to get cut. Andrew says, of course, possible tax rises, possible extra borrowing. But if you're thinking, is my welfare going to get cut?
That's not...
So
a waspy woman.
A waspy woman, a billion has to come from somewhere.
I think
Andrew's point is really pertinent, isn't it, to viewers this morning? Got us to a position where Sir Keir Starmer's going to go over to the White House. We're going to spend more on defence. Now, the difference between 2.3%, which is what we currently 0.5%, is an extra £5 to £6 billion. Going to 3% would mean spending £20 billion more. £80 billion. Now, I'm sure people would go, excellent, looks like we're vulnerable against Russian aggression. £80 billion would have to come from some you think Sir Keir Starmer has in mind to cut, even with the £5 billion extra going to do, if that guarantees peace. It comes as Sir Keir Starmer confirms his ironclad support for Kyiv ahead of a group call with world leaders to mark 3 years since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion.
And, of course, later this week, the Prime Minister will head to Washington to meet US President Donald Trump amid fragile relations now between the US and Europe. Well, our chief correspondent, Richard Gaisford, as you've seen...
Well, let's go straight to our political correspondent, Luce, this morning. We're going to discuss that further with Andrew Pearce and Kevin Maguire, particularly... what does this mean if defence spending? If we're going...
when we'll reach that target.
We will talk to the Security Minister, Dan Jarvis, about that this morning. And also, of course, Andrew and Kevin, who will be here at 6:30. Now, though, 10 minutes past 6, here's Ranveer. Very much indeed. Yeah. Right. Laura.
We're nearly there, aren't we? It's only, what, just under 4 weeks?
Laura, thank you.
6:22. Still to come on Good Morning Britain. Greater Manchester, we're going to get the news, the travel and the weather wherever you're watching. Back shortly.